Hello everyone, my name is Michael SK. This year has been very different, and unfortunately for far too many, it's been very difficult. 2020 will most likely be looked at as one of the worst years in recent history for the tragic events that took place, and of course because of the global spread of COVID-19. Now I'm not going to sit back here and look back on all the bad that has happened this year, but I do want to share my condolences with those who have lost a loved one, whether it be to COVID or anything else. A few people I know personally have lost family members this year, some due to COVID. And I've met many who either had COVID or currently have it. I hope that for 2021, we're able to move past the majority of the bad and begin going back to the good in life, whatever that may be. And because of how ugly 2020 was, I decided to not do my usual year in review montage or a look back at memorable moments of stuff I recorded throughout the year. Instead, I wanted to look back with you guys on the different games, visual novels, and whatever else I've done this year. 2020 was a very long year, and it's hard to believe some of the things I was able to record this year. So sit back, relax, and let's take a trip through the year of content that I put up on the channel, starting with what one of my main focuses was back in January. I kicked off the new year with the continuation of my Nier Automata playthrough with my pal Jared. We were in the final act of the game, and since I had already played the game on my own, I was so excited for Jared to experience the remaining endings for himself. It was a fun final ride with Nier Automata, until the game kept stuttering every time we opened it. Besides Nier Automata, a continuing playthrough from the previous year was Wonderful Every Day. I had completely forgotten that I finished this visual novel in 2020, and it was late in March that I finally reached the end. What's even crazier is that I started this journey back in July 2018. I didn't think that this game was for me, and I dropped it. But man, I couldn't stop thinking about the mystery I left off on. I soon picked the title up again and continued on. Not only was I able to come to the game's conclusion, but I was finally able to answer the questions that were constantly coming up when I continued on last year. This title definitely left a hole in my heart, and I tried my hardest to fill the void with yet another fantastic ride. In May, I decided to pick up Chaos Child, one of the Science Adventure series' main titles. Little did I know that this game was going to fucking destroy my heart. I had a blast with this one. It wasn't like Wonderful Every Day, and I never tried to make direct comparisons, but it definitely helped me stop thinking about it so I can go about this wild ride instead. I didn't think my summer would be consumed by this title, but it was, and I'm glad it was. I couldn't take any breaks from it, as I badly wanted to see how this insane story would be concluded. I honestly cannot wait to jump into the other science adventure titles, and next year you guys better be on the lookout for Chaos Head Noah on the channel. And speaking of science adventure, I am really going through the Steins Gate spin-offs at the pace of a snail. I tried to jump back and forth between them, but I would seemingly lose interest as I would hop into another game. I hope to complete both Linear Bounded Phenogram and My Darling's Embrace early 2021, before hopping into Chaos Head or anything else that's super big. Oh wait, I kinda already jumped into something. A few days after the final Chaos Child episode went up, I decided to give Higurashi When They Cry a try. I got through the first game for Halloween, and now my curiosity has risen. I'm excited to continue on in the second game, especially since a fan bought it for me. Shout out to Mini Saren from my Discord server. I can't wait to continue on with this wild mystery. Okay, let's actually jump back to January. I began checking out the new DLC for Kingdom Hearts 3, and while I have gotten through the core part of the DLC, there's a bunch of difficult boss fights that still await me, and more story. Hopefully I can continue on with the DLC at some point next year. Jared and I also did a few episodes of the original Tomb Raider, which was a bunch of fun, but then Jared got trapped working more due to COVID coming up. I won't share too many details, but he practically disappeared. Luckily, he reappeared just in time for our stupid Christmas video for the year. Fast forward a little, and Persona 5 Royal has finally been released in the West. I had attempted to do a playthrough of the original, but stopped due to complications with my ex-roommate, whom I was recording it with. Either way, I'm glad I stopped that playthrough so I wouldn't be totally burned out on this one. Royal has been an absolute blast to record throughout the year, and now we've finally beaten the final boss of the original game. For those unaware, the bulk of Royal's new content is a story edition that takes place after this original final fight. I've already begun recording episodes of the new stuff, and holy fuck, man. You know how the Grinch's heart grows twice as big? Well, that's me with Royal, but it's my wiener instead. I'm super excited to complete this playthrough in early 2021 and experience the rest of this new story. This series has indeed been one of my main focuses of the year, and I'm glad my buddy Jamie has kept me company during the majority of the live recording sessions. Now, before Royal came out, I got an opportunity to be a part of a Mario Kart 8 tournament with NASCAR Cup driver Bubba Wallace and his crew from this year. I had to compete with them and other fans of Wallace in order to advance to the final round, and I was somehow able to. It was so much fun competing with these guys, and I even got to throw a turtle shell at Wallace, which is a win for me. Another win for me is finishing a ridiculously long playthrough that I started in 2016 with a ridiculously long final episode. I have finally put the Fruit of Grisaia to rest, and it was such a good feeling to do so. I didn't think I'd get this involved with the series over the years, even to the point of making analysis videos of the anime, but I'm glad I gave this title a shot and finally finished up all the routes it had to offer. And the final notable moments from the year are the 2 project videos I worked on. Similar to how this is scripted and edited together, I analyzed the second half of the Fruit of Grisaia and talked about Oragairu before the final season came out. As much as I wanted to continue the Grisaia analysis, I just haven't had the time. The motivation is there, but work and school have eaten up too much of my time this year. I hope to someday continue making these sorts of videos, as the final product is always rewarding to see. Plus, it warms my heart when people actually enjoy the work I put together. Now, of course, I did record some other things this year, such as some Star Wars and The Legend of Pirates Online with Jack so we can meet our rambling quotas, a little bit of Persona 4 Golden with OneFime to show how much of a shitty backseat gamer I am, the original Star Wars Battlefront 2 campaign with Alex, a bit of an indie visual novel, and the Kingdom Hearts rhythm game demo. I'm definitely not picking up the full game of that, but I definitely recorded quite a bit this year. In previous years, I did branch out and record many games and visual novels for attempts of playthroughs or one-offs, and this year felt more grounded and had more focus. Regardless, I had fun recording what I did, and I hope many of you enjoyed a lot of what I put out. Statistics show that when COVID made itself known in the world, viewership drastically increased, but all I was concerned about was if I was able to make enjoyable enough content for newcomers and regulars alike. Like I said, this year has been different and difficult, but I hope that my content erased some boredom or helped in any other way. I also hope that next year will be better all around, for the channel and for all of you guys. I'm not going to sit here and lecture you, but I know that together we can push towards a better year together. Thank you all for watching any of my videos, and as always, a big thanks to Ashton Lambert for continuing to be my sole patron. You are a real homie. I hope you all are able to welcome in the new year with positive expectations. Let us all wish for a happy new year.